difference to the things you'll visit. But this tunnel, it's actually been built as an access tunnel. They started it in 1771, and this has been built to access. It's actually 14 miles of natural tunnels. There's absolutely loads down here. And the reason for that, beginning in the 1760s, there were actually 7 lead mines made down the natural tunnels. And the owners of these lead mines, real problem trying to find just the best way to get the lead out, until a North Staffordshire mining company, who I believe called Ralph Oakton and Partners, they offered to build this underground canal system so they could get boats down to those lead mines and all the lead out of here by boats. Really strange idea, but it's worked out fantastically for them. Just the lead, the loose rock being very heavy, using the boat for transport down here really was a brilliant system, I'll say that. And sadly, it did cause a few problems down here, the water, definitely. Like, one of the bigger ones was, if you weren't sort of working on a boat back then, you'd have to walk through the water at some points. So when it was a mine, the water was about ½ a metre deep. It's about up to miner's knees, really. But this water, it's only 3 degrees, and they were down here for at least 12 hours a day. Really cold for them, definitely. In fact, the average life expectancy for mining down here, it was only about 28 years old. This really was a difficult place to work in, as you can tell. Oh, and brilliant, it's actually very close to first thing to show you down here. I'll tell you a bit more conditions down here as well. And it's just before it's light to your left-hand side, you'll see a little tunnel going into the wall. Sadly, it is just by this drip. I will do my best to keep out of the way of that, definitely. But what the little tunnel is just here, it's where they found a vein of lead like blasting along this tunnel. They weren't really expecting to find this. It's a bit of bonus money for them, really. But sadly, all they used to work down there for at least 12 hours a day would have been boys between the age of about 8 and 13 years old. So they go crawling off down that tunnel, chiselling lead out the rock. And so we go drift past it here, so actually have a good look down there.
Alright.
So the tunnel itself, it goes about 20 metres in. It actually used to go 30 metres right the way out to the surface. We've had to block it all up now though. Every time it rained outside, you still get a bit of it nowadays, but water washing down there into the tunnel, which obviously caused a problem. They were working through that tunnel there, and obviously didn't help for kind of flooding in the tunnel down here as well. We have a bit of a problem with it nowadays, but with mine down here, they had a big problem with flooding down here, definitely. But see, the boys working down there, all they had on them, with a candle between their teeth, a bucket of lead around the neck, and a shovel and pickaxe in their hands. And the candle between the teeth as well, it was actually a wax candle, it was a tallow candle. So tallow is a mixture of boils down pig's fat and fire ash. It would have rotted away the child's teeth and swallowed that tallow, started to burn away his stomach lining. So as you can tell, awful place for it to work in, definitely. And the big one when you get to that is, literally the boys working down here, they were sons of the miners, so forced to work down here with their father to make a bit more money for the family. I mean, that's exactly how I started down here. We're not getting into that now. So, oops, driving just there. Oh, actually, another one you may notice me saying down here. I'm just saying lots of boys working down here with their fathers. I've actually heard about this at quite a few mines. They wouldn't allow ladies, little girls, into this mine here because they thought it would be really bad luck. Which I find great luck for ladies and little girls, but let's face it, not a nice place to come down here, definitely. But I've actually only ever heard of one lady coming down here with a mine, and she gave birth down here. Not nice at all, as you can tell. The conditions for it absolutely horrendous. And her son as well. Her son, he was born down here. He would start to work down here, and the average life expectancy 28. So her son, all he knew was this place really. Not a very nice life at all. Sorry guys, actually that was a bit of a morbid comment just there. Let's cheers back up here really. I must say, you've got a fantastic time to be down here. Being the first 12 days, always a bonus. If there's another boat down here with us, the other boat would actually be heading this way back down the tunnel towards us. Usually I start to ask, how can we get two boats down here, collisions, swapping boats, things like this. But you'll notice a passing place, just the right hand side here. Let's just slow us down for one moment here. So this passing place, they built originally actually to get down to another one the mines are looking for. So after about 40 metres to get down to mine entrance down there. Sadly, we're not allowed too far down anymore. The tunnel itself, after about 15 metres from where we are here now, it becomes really unstable down there. So lots of falling rock, which I do think is a good reason not to send tours down there, definitely. And for passing place nowadays, it works out brilliantly. So usually we pull down there quickly, another boat head on behind us, we reverse back out and head down the tunnel. It's a brilliant passing place. The funniest thing about it is actually its name though. The miners, they named it, it was the halfway house. Only 1/3 of the way through the tunnel, named after their favourite pub. They did enjoy drinking down here back then, so... But brilliant, let's get a bit further along here now. Get this motor back on. And actually, the next thing that I'll show you here, it has actually a slightly strange story behind it. It's about to travel under a bricked up archway. So I'm going to not go too fast on this one just here. So this bricked up archway just here. Now, it's another place they found a vein of lead. It was a huge vein of lead they found here though. Now up to your left, they actually mined it down from the surface. These tours first started at 1841 and used to see daylight going up through there. These tours first started and that went up about 100 metres.
Sorry.
Look, that's the hats are made for, don't worry about that. So, imagine seeing sunlight through there, absolutely brilliant. Obviously, when it rained outside though, a lot of mud and rock washing down there, we had to get that bricked up quite quickly actually in the end. The strange bit though, is a bit up to your right. Now, there's a mine that runs parallel to us here, just up this right hand corner really. It was a mine though, they weren't taking lead out for. They happened to mine that vein of lead into that mine, and those miners accused them of stealing their lead, which is a bit of a problem there. I thought a conversation would happen, so there was some money to exchange hands or something like that. Not the case at all. The miners from that mine up there purposely diverged water down here to flood this mine to try and kill those miners. Which is very extreme, as you can tell, but it was their only source of money. They didn't get paid for that lead, those miners weren't eat. So they were very almost protective of their lead, I'll say that, definitely. And actually, I have mentioned a couple of times now, I should really clear this one up. The flooding down here, it flooded actually a lot easier when it was a mine. In comparison, we take about 5 days, heavy days rain for enough water to flow in for the natural tunnels to flood down here. When it was a mine, it only took about 2 days, heavy days rain. So potholes, they've opened lots of tunnels and diverse a bit more water away. So we definitely do not flood as easy as they used to down here. But the miners, they even had problems with it before they broke into natural tunnels. The limestone here, and the water flows down, it's so easy down here, definitely. And actually, there are a few records for miners' diaries as well, of miners actually being trapped down here overnight because of the flood water. And I imagine that was terrifying for them. They always just believed the further you got to the ground, the closer you got to Devil himself.